Ever ponder the relentless pace of our modern life and wonder if there's a better way? Our lives these days often resemble a hamster frantically spinning on a wheel, with the speed of life set at a breathless sprint. We're constantly chasing deadlines, responding to a barrage of notifications, and trying to squeeze more into our already overflowing schedules. It's as if we're in a never-ending race, with the finish line perpetually moving just out of reach. In this whirlwind of activity, we often find ourselves grappling with stress, burnout, and dissatisfaction. We're always trying to do more, to move faster, to be more productive. But at what cost? Our mental health, our relationships, our sense of self all seem to pay the price in this relentless pursuit of speed and efficiency. This frenzied pace of life makes us feel like we're always playing catch-up, never quite where we want to be. We're so focused on what's next that we often overlook the here and now. We're living for the future at the expense of the present. But what if I told you there's another way? A way that doesn't involve racing against the clock, that doesn't require us to sacrifice our well-being for the sake of productivity. This is where the concept of slow living comes into play. Now, don't be mistaken. Slow living isn't about doing everything at a snail's pace. It's not about abandoning ambition or stopping progress. On the contrary, slow living is about mindfulness. It's about making conscious choices rather than rushing through life on autopilot. It's about quality over quantity, depth over breadth. It's about savoring the moment, enjoying the journey, and not just fixating on the destination. A different path exists, one that may seem counterintuitive in our fast-paced world. It's called slow living. So what exactly is this notion of slow living? Is it about doing everything at a snail's pace? Well, not quite. Slow living is more a philosophy than a speed limit. It's about understanding the value of time and choosing to spend it in a way that enriches our lives. You see, slow living is not about doing everything slowly, but rather doing things at the right pace. It's about taking a moment to appreciate the beauty of a sunrise, to savor the flavor of a home-cooked meal, or to fully engage in a conversation with a loved one. It's about being present in the moment, not lost in a whirlwind of thoughts about the past or the future. It's about doing things with intention and attention, not rushing through tasks just to tick them off a list. One key principle of slow living is mindfulness. This means being fully aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, rather than mindlessly going through the motions. It's about noticing the details that we often overlook when we're in a hurry, like the aroma of freshly brewed coffee or the sound of birdsong in the morning. Simplicity is another cornerstone of slow living. It's about decluttering our lives, both physically and mentally. This could mean getting rid of unnecessary possessions, saying no to unfulfilling commitments, or simplifying our daily routines. By reducing complexity, we create more space for the things that truly matter. Lastly, slow living emphasizes quality over quantity. It's about having fewer but better things. It's about spending less time, but more meaningful time with the people we care about. It's about consuming less, but savoring more. In other words, slow living is not about being slow, but about being mindful, simple, and focused on quality. It's about making deliberate choices that enhance our well-being and deepen our connection with the world around us. Slow living, then, is about savoring life, not rushing through it. It's about embracing a pace that allows us to live more fully, more intentionally, and more joyfully. Now that we understand what slow living is, let's delve into why it might be beneficial. Imagine a cup of tea. When we gulp it down, we may appreciate its warmth, but we miss the nuances of its flavor. Slow living is akin to savoring that cup of tea, allowing us to fully experience and appreciate every aspect of our lives. Firstly, let's talk about mental health. In the helter-skelter of modern life, stress and anxiety are all too common. The practice of slow living, however, encourages mindfulness, a state of active, open attention to the present. This mindfulness can help us manage stress, fostering a sense of calm and well-being. Research from the American Psychological Association affirms that mindfulness can indeed lead to significant reductions in anxiety and depression. Next, consider how slow living can improve our relationships. In the speed of life, we often take our relationships for granted, not dedicating the time they deserve. Slow living urges us to invest quality time in these relationships, to listen, to understand, and to connect on a deeper level. Anecdotes abound of people finding their relationships enriched when they make the conscious decision to slow down. Finally, slow living promotes a deeper appreciation of life itself. When we rush through life, we're like a tourist sprinting through a museum, seeing everything but appreciating nothing. Slow living encourages us to be more like a connoisseur, lingering over the artwork of our lives, finding joy in the details. We learn to value quality over quantity, experiences over possessions, and the journey over the destination. In essence, slow living allows us to truly savor the richness and depth of our lives. It encourages us to pause, to breathe, and to fully engage with the world around us. And in doing so, we find that the world, in its myriad details and moments, is infinitely more fascinating and fulfilling than we ever imagined. Slow living, then, is not just a lifestyle choice, but a path to a more mindful, meaningful, and enriching existence. In essence, slow living allows us to truly savor the richness and depth of our lives. You may wonder, how do I incorporate slow living into my own life? The answer lies in the small, everyday decisions we make. First off, practicing mindfulness is a cornerstone of slow living. It's about being fully present in the moment, not lost in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. You could start by taking 5 minutes each day to breathe deeply, focus on your senses, and just be. It might seem insignificant, but these moments of mindfulness can begin to permeate the rest of your day, bringing a sense of calm and focus to everything you do. Another way to embrace the principles of slow living is by simplifying your routines. This doesn't mean you need to eliminate all of your obligations and live like a hermit. Instead, look for areas where you can cut back. Perhaps you're spending too much time on social media or watching television. Reducing these distractions can free up time for more important things like reading a good book, going for a walk, or spending quality time with loved ones. On that note, slow living encourages us to prioritize quality over quantity in all areas of life. This might mean choosing to cook a homemade meal rather than grabbing fast food, even if it takes a little longer. It could mean choosing to have a few close friends instead of a large network of acquaintances, or it might mean investing in fewer but higher quality items that will last longer rather than buying cheap disposable goods. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making small, intentional changes that align with your values. You might not be able to overhaul your life overnight, but each small step you take towards slow living will make a difference. While it may be challenging at first, integrating slow living into your life can yield profound benefits. So why not give it a try? You might be surprised at the peace and fulfillment you find when you choose to slow down and savor life. So, we've explored the concept of slow living and its potential benefits. What are the key takeaways? Well, first, we learned that slow living isn't about being unproductive or idle. It's about making a conscious decision to step off the fast track, to take the scenic route through life. It's about prioritizing quality over quantity, choosing depth over breadth. We also delved into the essence of slow living, how it's centered on mindfulness and intentionality. It's about being present in the moment, fully engaging with whatever you're doing, whether it's savoring a meal, conversing with a friend, or simply enjoying the quiet solitude of nature. We highlighted the benefits of this approach to life. Slow living can reduce stress, improve health, and increase happiness. It allows us to truly appreciate the richness and complexity of our daily experiences, rather than rushing through them in a blur of activity. Then, we discussed how to apply these principles in our daily lives. It could be as simple as waking up a bit earlier to enjoy the quiet of the morning, or taking the time to prepare a home-cooked meal instead of opting for fast food. It might involve saying no to some opportunities in order to make room for what truly matters. We also emphasized the importance of patience. Slow living is a journey, not a destination. It's about making incremental changes and celebrating small victories. It's about embracing the process and learning to find joy in the journey. Remember, the goal isn't to slow down for the sake of slowing down, but to create a life that you truly enjoy and savor. A life where you're not just surviving, but thriving. A life that's filled with moments of quiet reflection and deep connection. A life where you're not just doing, but being. So are you ready to take the first step towards a slower, more fulfilling life? If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about living intentionally, hit the subscribe button for more enlightening ideas on how to live a rich and fulfilling life.